the award, the Laureus for Good Award, and that is for your community project in Mumbai on Magic Bus. So I think you founded it, was it 15 years ago, at least that? I think you should just tell us a little bit about the project and how it all started.
We started Magic Bus 15 years ago. I used to play a lot of rugby 15 years ago, and actually used to play for India. And you know, as a foreigner arriving in a country like a city like Bombay, you have sort of 25 million people living in this city, and 12 million live in the slums and 12 million in homes. It had a huge impact on me, and really one of the ways I felt I wanted to understand the situation better was to start coaching a bunch of 15 young men that lived on the street outside my office. And really, we went on this incredible 2-year journey together with these 15 young men. And really, for me, the epiphany was understanding how they changed their lives, not what I was doing, but what they wanted to do to get themselves out of poverty. And actually now it's, it's one of India's largest non-profits now. We have nearly 500,000 children every week in the program across India. And really what's special about Laureus is that they were one of our very first, they were a first believer in many ways. And in those days, very few people understood how sport could be used to solve poverty. Everyone would sort of say, but there's far more pressing issues like school and education and HIV and some of the larger, well-known issues, and how can sport be used. So I think having the support we got from Laureus from those others was absolutely vital, and they've ridden the journey with us actually. So
it allowed you to grow to what it is today.
Yeah, that's right. So it's been 12 years. Yeah, 12 years as a partnership.
As before, I'd like to give you a chance to ask a question from the floor. So please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you, lady in the front.
It says here that Magic Bus plans to touch 1 million kids by 2015.
Yeah.
How far are you from that, and what would you need to achieve that?
So we're about we've grown very fast at Magic Bus, and we've put ourselves a bit on hold in the last 2 years, just while we reorganise and prepare for the largesse of 1 million children. So we're about halfway there. I think in the next 2 years, I don't see that being a problem. I think we're ready for it. I think it's not always a straight equation about money, although that plays a very large part in obviously growing a project to that sort of size. So financial support is important, but it's also just about creating the right, the right DNA, the right culture in an organisation. At the moment we have nearly 1,000 employees at Magic Bus. We have 10,000. Parvati, this wonderful lady over here, is one of 10,000 young ladies and men that every week go out and deliver Magic Bus programs. That's going to be 30,000 in the next 2 years. So it's a bit like running a big company. We have all those same challenges.
Anyone else like to ask a question? Please raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question from the floor.
It takes a lot to actually make a step and do something like this, and to break away and really try and make an impact. Especially in a country, as you say, a giant country where there's a lot of poverty. And so what was it that
What was the trigger?
Yeah, the trigger.
Yeah. I think the impact for me was I landed in Bombay, and it just that visual shock, that dichotomy of seeing just horrific poverty and really feeling quite helpless actually. I'd spent a couple of years trying to work out what I should do personally. I was really fortunate. I was running a fairly big company in Bombay, and I was 29 years old, I think. And actually, the Magic Bus program for me was probably only going to be a 6-month journey. I thought, I'll do something good for 6 months and get another job. And then you kind of get sucked in because I think you understand the power of what you can do. And what's been incredible for me, and as I said, it involves tens of thousands of people now, has been how many people want you to win. And it's very different from business, really. So many people start living through what you're doing and wanting to support you, giving you that fabric of the robustness of the organisation, the money, all the things that need to make you successful. So I think the first trigger was I think understanding that I could do something, and then I think you just sort of, it was a great vision actually, but I think that sort of started to unfold and with a lot of encouragement from a lot of people.
Thank you. Any other questions, please? Raise your hand if you'd like to ask Matthew a question. What's in the name? What Mind Magic Plus? What was that about?
Yeah, so when I first started coaching these 15 boys, one of the things that I wanted to do was to rather than get them to pay me money, I wanted them to really value the experience. So their deal to me was that at the weekends, what we would do is we'd hire a bus, and each of these rugby boys would be the mentors for 50 children from a slum nearby. We would take these 50 kids away on a bus and give them just the time of their lives. These are kids that have never seen the mountains, the beaches, and we just felt that we would just take them away in this magical bus. It was for them a magical journey, and then from that, the learning for me was that actually using young people who are in the same situation, they become the heroes actually of the children, not me. It wasn't what I was saying. It was what these rugby boys who became these unbelievable role models to these young children, how they were impacting the behaviour of children from their own environment.
Did you think of the name yourself?
See, I have a bit of a confession. I was born in Southend, and it's a big confession. And I was born with this culture outside my house on the beach. There was on the seafront. There was these old ladies that would queue up every single day and be taken on a mystery tour, a magic bus tour, and I had no idea where they were going. And this for me was really, in many ways, when we took this bus into the slums, these kids had no idea, because they'd never seen anything we were going to take them to. So they started calling it the magic bus actually, but it was similar to that.
Well, thank you very much, Matthew, for coming in and seeing us. Essex Boy made good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.